Good evening, viewers. This is the Qtv Nightly News, which is also on Q Radio 103.3 FM. And I am Mamna Bukar. Thank you for joining us. Here are the headlines. The National Human Rights Commission has launched its 2025 State of Human Rights Report, highlighting progress made in protecting human rights while warning that ongoing challenges continue to affect justice and accountability in the Gambia. The Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology on Tuesday convened a stakeholder validation forum on the draft National Internship Policy 2026-2028. The Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment is reviewing the updated Made in the Gambia Strategy 2027 to 2030 and developing a comprehensive action plan. The government of the Gambia and the Sovereign Order of Malta have formalized a new cooperation agreement aimed at expanding collaboration in humanitarian and development initiatives. In sports news, the Gambia Football Federation has officially launched the country's inaugural CAF A licensed coaching diploma course aimed at strengthening coaching standards and advancing football development in the Gambia. Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. Welcome back to the news. We apologize there for the delay. Now on to the rest of our stories. The National Human Rights Commission has launched its 2025 State of Human Rights Report in the Gambia, highlighting key gains in the protection of rights while warning that persistent challenges continue to threaten justice and accountability in the Gambia. Usman Jatta reports.
Each year, the National Human Rights Commission assesses the state of rights protection and identifies areas requiring further action. At this press briefing, the Commission also launched its annual activities report highlighting its interventions, achievements and recommendations from the past year. Emmanuel Daniel Juve, chairperson of the National Human Rights Commission, said the report formed part of the institution's constitutional mandate to monitor the human rights situation and uphold duty bearers accountable.
We did receive over 60 complaints. We were able to resolve half of them through investigation, mediation, and recommendation. We conducted prison and police station monitoring. We continue to monitor implementation of the TRRC recommendation. The current human rights issues and concerns of the NHRC, although we would say that there has been some notable progress, there's some positive developments. For example, the review and having a new Criminal Offences Act 2025, the Criminal Procedure Act of 2025, the establishment of a Reparation Commission, I think it's progress as well. We did have the Anti-Corruption Act. There has been, despite some challenges, there has been increase in civic space.
Principal Legal Officer Ida Jatta provided further details on the country's human rights situation.
Concerns arise from the various murder cases that were reported in 2025, and the Commission also noted in the report the incident of excessive use of force by police officers, which resulted in the murder of Omar Baji. For cases of torture, inhumane and degrading treatment, the Commission received 11, and from against security institutions. This signals a rise of 7 cases that were received in 2024.
Despite these gains, the Commission's chairperson says serious concerns remain.
We've also been concerned about the police use of force and heavy-handedness, the need for proportionality, the need for accountability, and respect for due process. These are issues of concern. FGM remains illegal in this country, yet it continues. Violence against women, rape and sexual assault remains a concern. Children's rights, protection of children, again, this is an area, this is a vulnerable group we need to improve. We have observed, and it has been on the papers, especially the living conditions and the abuse and exploitation of children, and also, especially, children in some madrasas and the Quranic schools. The issue of child marriage is still an issue, although it is illegal. Area of persons with disability, again, you all know that we've had an act since 2021, a very brilliant, comprehensive, nice act. But acceleration of the implementation of the act needs to be pushed. And the NHRC have been at the forefront trying to push and working closely with the Ministry of Gender, Women and Social Welfare to make sure that this act is fully the implementation should be done through a fully funded national implementation plan.
The Commission says that protecting human rights requires collective action. It is calling on the government, the National Assembly, security institutions, civil society, the media and citizens to work together to strengthen accountability, uphold the rule of law and ensure that every Gambian enjoys the rights guaranteed under the Constitution. Osman Jatta, QTV News.
The Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology on Tuesday convened a stakeholder validation forum on the draft National Internship Policy 2026-2028. The policy aims to strengthen internship programs and better prepare graduates for successful entry into the labor market. Yafatugay has more.
The forum brought together key stakeholders to review and validate the draft policy ahead of its final adoption. The exercise aims to ensure the policy reflects the views and recommendations of institutions involved in higher education, skills development and employment. Professor Per Gomez, Minister of Higher Education, said the national internship policy is needed to strengthen workforce development by preparing graduates with the practical skills needed by employers.
Many young graduates and school leavers continue to face significant challenges in transitioning from education to productive employment. Our recurring concern raised by employers is the limited practical work experience among graduates, while young people themselves often struggle to secure opportunities that allow them to acquire the skills and competencies and professional exposure required in today's labor market.
Professor Gomez added that the policy will also safeguard the rights and welfare of interns by establishing clear guidelines for internship programs across the country.
This policy is not simply about creating internship opportunities. It is about ensuring that every internship provides meaningful learning experiences, promotes fairness and inclusivity, safeguards the rights and welfare of interns, strengthens partnerships between education providers and employers, and contributes to improved employment outcomes. Yes, we talk about internship, not a dumping ground. Sending people there to be brewing attire for somebody, that's not the reason why they are sent there. We need to change the approach.
Lamin B. Mane, Director of Quality Assurance at the National Accreditation and Quality Assurance Authority, NACA, said employers are increasingly seeking graduates with practical skills and relevant workplace experience.
Across the world, higher education is increasingly measured not only by the number of graduates produced, but by the quality of their skills and their readiness for employment. Employers today expect graduates who possess practical experience, professional competence, and the ability to contribute effectively from the first day at work.
According to Mahast officials, the policy was developed to address the gap between theoretical learning and practical experience in tertiary and higher education institutions. Although the Gambia has a strong qualifications framework, there has been no comprehensive national policy to guide internship program. Here is Aissatou Uba, Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology.
Today's validation workshop marks an important milestone in the policy development process, as it provides us with the opportunity to carefully review the draft policy, assess its relevance and practicality, and ensure that it reflects the aspirations and expectations of all key stakeholders.
Once adopted, the National Internship Policy will promote structured internship programs aimed at improving youth employability and easing the tension from academic training to the workplace. The policy also defines the roles and responsibilities of government institutions, training providers, employers, and students to ensure effective implementation nationwide. Reporting for Qtv News, this is Yafatu Gay.
The Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment is reviewing the updated Made in the Gambia Strategy 2027 to 2030 and developing a comprehensive action plan. The review is funded by the European Union through the EU Youth Empowerment Project, Tourism and Creative Industries. Zainab Chow has the details.
Since its development in 2021, the Made in the Gambia initiative has aimed to position Gambian products and services as drivers of economic growth, employment creation, and national pride. The initiative seeks to build a recognizable national brand that promotes inclusive and sustainable development. The review process includes a national stakeholders consultative meeting held in September 2025, followed by the establishment of a technical working team supported by the International Trade Center (ITC) to oversee the revision of the strategy and the development of an action plan.
The question before us is simple. How do we build a Gambia that produces more, import less, create more jobs, add greater value to its resources, and compete well in the market? Regional integration alone does not create prosperity. Trade flows productions, production follows investment, investment follows confidence. Our responsibility, therefore, is to create an environment where Gambian enterprises can innovate, grow, compete, and export.
That was Motke Sise, Minister of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment. Yusufa Keita, ITC Gambia country representative, has called for collective commitment to ensure the strategy delivers lasting impact.
This strategy belongs to all of us, and turning it into a lasting impact is our shared responsibility. Development partners need to provide the technical assistance.
Babukar Sahor is the Deputy CEO of the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, GCCI.
As a nation, anchored at the Ministry and the Investment and Export Promotion Agency, we continue to hold it firm because we know as a nation that the more we produce locally, the more we consume locally, the better for our economy.
Lunana Kanashi, the EU representative, was also in attendance.
Today's workshop is more than a validation exercise. It is an opportunity to collectively define a vision for the future of Gambian enterprises. A future where product proudly bearing the label Made in Gambia are recognized for their quality, authenticity, and competitiveness, both at home, in regional and international markets. For the European Union, supporting the development of this strategy is a natural extension of a long-standing partnership with the Gambia to promote sustainable economic growth, job creation, and private sector development.
Following technical discussions and a 12-week period of public feedback and comments, the revised draft is now being presented to stakeholders for validation. The revised Made in the Gambia Strategy and Action Plan 2027 to 2037 is expected to provide a pathway for advancing local production, expanding market opportunities, and enhancing value addition for Gambian businesses. Reporting for QTV News, I am Zainab Chow.
That report by Zainab Chow will take us on a commercial break. When we return, we have more national, international, and sports news stories. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is the QTV Nightly News, and I am Mamna Buka. Here are the rest of our stories. The government of the Gambia and the Sovereign Order of Malta have formalized a new cooperation agreement aimed at expanding collaboration in humanitarian and development initiatives. The agreement is expected to enhance support in key sectors including healthcare, food security and disaster risk reduction, volunteerism, and other areas of mutual interest. This report by Babakar Sise is narrated by Usman Jata.
The agreement was signed at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, International Cooperation and Gambians Abroad in Banjul by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sering Morunjai, and the Ambassador of the Foreign Order of Malta, His Excellency Domenico Gianni. Speaking at the signing ceremony, Minister Njai described the agreement as a significant milestone in the growing relationship between the Gambia and the Sovereign Order of Malta. He said the partnership reflects a shared commitment to improving the lives of communities through practical humanitarian action. The minister reaffirmed the Gambia's commitment to implementing the agreement, noting that the partnership aligns with the Gambia's national development priorities in healthcare, humanitarian response, food security, volunteerism, and disaster preparedness. He also praised the Sovereign Order of Malta for its long-standing humanitarian work around the world and expressed confidence that the collaboration would deliver meaningful benefits to the Gambian people. For his part, Ambassador Domenico Gianni thanked the government of the Gambia for its warm hospitality and welcomed the agreement as an important step in strengthening bilateral relations. He reaffirmed the order's commitment to working closely with the government to advance humanitarian and development programs, particularly in healthcare, humanitarian assistance, and community resilience. The Sovereign Order of Malta is an international Catholic humanitarian organization that provides medical and emergency assistance to vulnerable communities worldwide. Operating in more than 120 countries, it runs hospitals, clinics, and ambulance services while supporting refugees and people affected by disasters and poverty. The order also delivers food aid, strengthens disaster preparedness, and works with governments to improve community resilience. Through its global network of staff and volunteers, it promotes volunteerism and humanitarian action. Recognized internationally for its relief efforts, the Sovereign Order of Malta partners with countries including the Gambia to advance healthcare, humanitarian assistance, and sustainable community development. The ceremony in Banjul concluded with the formal exchange of the signed cooperation agreement, marking the beginning of a new phase of cooperation between the two partners. Osman Jata, QTV News.
Coming up next is international news. Now, a Sudanese court in the army-controlled city of Port Sudan has sentenced Rapid Support Forces RSF commander Mohamed Hamdan Dagalo, also known as Hamed T, and 15 others to death in absentia over the killing of West Darfur Governor Hamis Abakar and crimes committed against the conflict in Darfur. This story by Babakar Sise is narrated by me. The ruling comes as Sudan's civil war enters its fourth year with millions facing displacement, hunger, and widespread human rights abuses. The court finds those sentenced guilty of war crimes, crimes against humanity, genocide, and attacks against civilians and public facilities. According to Sudan state news agency SUNA, the convictions relate to the June 2023 killing of West Darfur Governor Hamis Abakar, who was abducted and killed shortly after publicly accusing the RSF and allied Arab militias of carrying out ethnic attacks against civilians in El Geneina, the capital of West Darfur. Among those sentenced are Dagalo's brother and deputy Abdelrahim Dagalo, several senior RSF commanders and tribal leaders accused of supporting attacks in the region. The court said the verdict would be forwarded to Sudan's Supreme Court for review while authorities pursue the arrest and extradition of the convicted individuals through Interpol and other international legal channels. The RSF has consistently denied allegations of genocide and war crimes, maintaining that it has not deliberately targeted civilians. The conflict between Sudan's army led by General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and the RSF erupted in April 2023 following a power struggle over plans to integrate the powerful paramilitary force into the National Army. Burhan and Dagalo previously shared power after leading the 2021 military coup that halted Sudan's transition to civilian rule. Sudan's war has become one of the world's worst humanitarian crises, killing tens of thousands and displacing more than 11 million people. Women and children have faced severe impacts including sexual violence, deaths, injuries, and family separation. The conflict has also devastated farms, markets, and aid access, leaving millions facing hunger. The United Nations has warned of famine in some areas, with children among those most vulnerable to severe malnutrition, as fighting continues to block humanitarian assistance. Mamna Buka, reporting for QTV News. In sports news, the Gambia Football Federation has officially launched the country's inaugural CAF A licensed coaching diploma course, a landmark initiative aimed at strengthening coaching standards and advancing football development in the Gambia. Hey, Jacqueline Coley.
The elite coaching program, organized by the Gambia Football Federation under the Confederation of African Football, is designed to equip experienced coaches with the highest level of coaching education, preparing them to lead top-flight clubs and national teams across Africa. Hosted at the National Technical Training Center in Olyundum, the course is delivered through a 6-month module, enabling participants to complete 240 hours of theoretical and practical coaching before qualifying for the CAF A license. The program focuses on advanced coaching methodologies, tactical analysis, player development, leadership, and high-performance football management, equipping coaches with the skills needed to excel at the highest level of the game. Lamin Kababajo is the president of the Gambia Football Federation.
The CAF A license remains the highest coaching qualification on the continent, and securing approval at the stage reflects our commitment to building strong local coaching capacity. These achievements give Gambian coaches the opportunity to qualify at the top level and lead both club and national teams in national and international CAF competitions.
The introduction of the CAF A licensed coaching diploma in the Gambia is a first for the country and marks a significant step in strengthening its football coaching capacity. The program also eliminates the need for Gambian coaches to travel abroad to obtain the prestigious qualification. Second Vice President of the Gambia Football Federation, Ubu Faye, and the Federation's Technical Director, Sang Dong, both hailed the launch as a landmark initiative.
Sitting here today, for us to do an A license in this country is one of our biggest achievements. AFCON is not our biggest achievement. This program is one of our biggest achievements.
Indeed. These achievements reflect on our collective commitment in advancing Gambian football in the department, specifically in coaching. As we prepare to deliver this course, we are raising the bar to ensure high-quality instruction, strong support, and rigorous evaluation is implemented.
Here is Ibu Jara, one of the coaches benefiting from the initiative.
Well, I mean, from just being a local coach and moving up to the elite standard. Local in the sense that you can only coach at local clubs, local standards, not at more advanced levels like international standards, like the local national teams, things like that. I mean, moving a ladder up by achieving this milestone, getting the qualifications, and to be credited as an A license coach, that helps. It means a lot to us. It means a lot to Gambians. We did it. I mean, we are doing it through the Gambia Football Federation initiative, the technical director, Sang Jondong. We are grateful.
Upon successful completion of the program, participants will be awarded the CAF A license, qualifying them to coach senior professional clubs and national teams across Africa. The qualification is also expected to strengthen the capacity of Gambian coaches and contribute to the continued growth and professionalization of football in the Gambia. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jacqueline Kuri.
That's all we have for this bulletin. Join us tomorrow at 8 p.m. for another bulletin. Thank you for watching.